just mirrors for each other. And if they are not ready to heal, let them go find someone else to do battle with. Hola, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Ashanti, and thank you for joining me. This week, we are going to be discussing traumas, triggers, and how to identify them. So, let's just say you're walking down the street and you see an altercation going on, and for some strange reason, you feel like you were kicked in the gut or someone lit the back of your neck on fire. It just triggers you in a way that gets you fired up. You want to get involved, you want to stop it. That is a short way to identify one of your traumas, because you were triggered in the way that you were. There's something deeper to it. Now, maybe you were, constantly yelled at or berated as a child, and you felt like you couldn't stand up for yourself due to fear of getting in trouble. This is why it's probably triggering you in the way that it is. So, what you want to do is you, first of all, um, you know that you are human for wanting to get involved, but the main thing is you want to find out why this triggered you so bad. So, guys, what you want to do is get your journal out, and you want to, well, first I would recommend, that you be in meditation or in a meditative state, so that your answers come through clearly from the divine, and they're not altered by your thinking in any type of way. So you want to, either, if you can remember that memory clearly when you were yelled at or berated or shut down or told to shut up, if you could remember that memory clearly, then this will be a little bit easier. But if it's something, that happened to you 30 years ago, 40 years ago, it might just be the pains of that memory that you can remember, and not the actual memory itself, if that makes any sense. But what you want to do is, you want to, instead of reacting, letting your shadow take over, what you want to do is, you want to try to understand it. So you want to take a deep breath, when you're alone and meditating, and you want to ask yourself, why did this trigger me in that way? Am I still traumatized by when it happened to me? Have I resolved this issue within myself? Do I know, that I'm safe, and that, I can speak out, I can stand up for myself? You want to get into this conversation with yourself. So if not, you will constantly be triggered. And now, I don't know if you guys ever seen, an adult have an adult temper tantrum, but it's not cute. And you don't want to be, that adult that is so unhinged and so disconnected from their emotions, that they throw temper tantrums. This is all a part of self mastery and mastering your emotions, because you don't want people to have that type of influence or power over your emotions. You always want to be able, to keep your own emotions in check. No one should have to tell you, that you need to calm down. You should be able to self-regulate. That is the whole goal, is to you know have control over yourself, self-mastery. And if one person can say or do one thing and it throws you off of your game, then there's some work that needs to be done there. And once you get to the bottom of that trauma, and you heal it, then the next time somebody comes and they try to shut you down or yell at you or diminish you in any type of way, you will stand up for yourself. Now trust me, you will be tested, because there's no way to really know if you've healed unless you go through some type of test. So don't be alarmed, if you've done, the healing work, and then someone comes up, and they start yelling and screaming in your face. What you do is, one of two things: you walk away, or you tell the person, we can revisit this conversation after you've calmed down. Take a breather, get control over your emotions, and then we can continue the conversation. It's not your responsibility to control anyone else's feelings or emotions, or the way that they act. That's also a part of self-mastery, knowing when to remove yourself, because there's nothing that you can do to fix anyone else. They have to be willing and able to do the work on their own. And if your shadow side wants to come out, you just tell your shadow, look, I got this. We're doing things a different way this time, because God, your shadow self is your partner. You work together, not against each other. You don't just push one up, to the forefront and you hide in the back. No, you work together so that you can heal and, get to a level of self-mastery to where what needs to be done needs to be done. So, just tell your shadow, even in meditation, if your shadow comes up, and they want to start, with, that's not fair, we need to retaliate, you tell your shadow, pipe down. We're in meditation right now, and we're going to figure this out. But you don't want to completely shut your shadow down, because that's where the trauma lies, in your shadow. So eventually your shadow side will get sick of the nonsense and want to retaliate. But that's not self-mastery. That's just not being in control of yourself. So the whole goal is to work with your shadow side, in order to get to know yourself as a whole being. So how you can respond in the way that you always have, but can you do it differently? Can you merge the two and have some balance and come to, a resolution? Now, you may not be able to resolve, an issue with that particular person, because like I said, we're just mirrors for each other. And if they are not ready to heal, let them go find someone else to do battle with. You do not have to engage in any type of, battle with someone else because of unhealed trauma. So the next time somebody triggers you, pay attention, because there's a trauma there that you need to look at and heal. And, once you get to a level of self-mastery, you can see the stuff coming a mile away, and you say to yourself, okay, we've been through this before. We responded in that way. this time, we're going to respond in this way because it's the healthiest way and the best way for everyone involved. And if the other person is not there yet, then there's nothing you can really do. They're going to have to just go and find somebody else, to be a mirror for them. You don't have to continue to be a mirror for someone that is not willing to do the work and heal. At a certain point, when you've healed, you're like, I'm not going back down that road again. I'm sorry. And that's why I said, therapy is also, a great thing, because those people, when they realize that you're no longer going to do battle with them, they need an outlet. And I would suggest, that you suggest therapy to them, so that they can begin their healing journey. So, the next time you're triggered, remember it. Don't react. When you get, to a space where you can do some meditation and get into a meditative state, get your journal out, write it down, and just have that conversation with yourself, because the inner peace that you will begin to have once you start to heal all of these traumas is priceless. It's a beautiful thing to exist without traumas and being triggered all the time. You can watch something on television, that can trigger you. So it's not really all the time, other people in your life. It could be anything. But the most important thing is to understand that it's there for a reason. It's trying to show you, what's unhealed. Your shadow is saying, either deal with this or I will. And you don't want your shadow to be in the driver's seat of your life. You guys need to be sharing it or taking turns, but you don't want to be, have your shadow as the driving force in your life, because that causes nothing but chaos and confusion. So, if you guys have any questions about traumas, triggers, identifying them, let me know down in the comments. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. And wait, I said, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. That's what I meant. And next week, we will be getting into the next chapter, which I think is chapter 5. Yeah, I think that is. Yes, chapter 5, and that is titled Who Am I? And once you start clearing up a lot of these traumas, then you will really get to know who you are at your core, without all of this nonsense distracting you from getting to know yourself. And that is one of our main goals on this journey, is to find out who we are. And what type of special gifts did we come to bring to this world to share with our fellow humans. And if you are going to be, a mirror for somebody, you want to show them the best of them. You don't want to keep mirroring to people, the worst of being a human being. You want to be able to mirror the best parts as well. So it's a lot of work, guys, but trust me, it is worth it. You will thank me in the end. And if you haven't gotten my book already, please go over to Amazon, grab you a copy, and get on this healing journey with us. And I will see you guys next week when we will be at it again. Bye.